Listen to who? Willie Nelson? I've listened to Willie, but
JoeVardenCleveland.com. Not to start off on a negative note on such a big night, but what do you think of Rodney Hood? How is his back? Is he still working through some soreness there?
I don't know if his back is still sore, but I knew that he would be a little rusty coming into the game. I think, when you're out a little bit and you get back into playing and all the bumping and the grinding that goes on through the course of the game, it puts some wear and tear on you. It's going to take Rodney a few games to get into a rhythm, to get his timing, which I and along with everybody else expected. That's why I look at these last 10 games that we have. These are games that will allow us to get into some type of a rhythm, and players who have been out to get their conditioning back and get acclimated and used to all the physicality of a game again, and the running and the stopping, and it's going to take Rodney a few games, and we'll be patient with it. But these last 10 games, to me, are very, very critical games. For our guys who have been out, and this is going to be the first time where we're really going to get our whole team together. Jetty's still out, but hopefully we'll get him back soon. But these last 10 games, that's exactly what we're going to be using them for.
And then my other one would be, what is 10 games enough time for? Is it enough time to figure out who to play, enough time to gel? Like, what do you think you can do?
10 games is enough time when you have your whole team back for the first time all season. It gives you an opportunity to, number one, establish some type of rotation that you're going to be using. Two, these guys are, for the first time, all playing together and get to, really get a feel for one another. 10 games is not a lot, but for us, we're not going to be, greedy at this point, because we've gone through what we've gone through as far from a personnel standpoint. Now we'll be getting everybody back. And whether it's 10 games, whether it's 5 games, we have to take those games and really use them to our, use them to our advantage, as we wind down the regular season, so that when we do finish the regular season, we have some sense of one another. We have some sense of a rotation. We have some sense of exactly what we're going to be doing from an offensive standpoint, from a defensive standpoint. But more than anything, for the first time, just getting everybody together. That's it's hard to imagine to go through an 82-game schedule and go with all the different personnel changes that we've had, and then we do make the trade and we get bodies here, and then all of a sudden we get guys that hurt. But we'll take these 10 games and we'll take every one of them and try to get to where we're able to do what we want to do and understand what we need as we wind it down and then we start getting ready for the playoffs.
Coach Drew, Ron Potesta with the Sports Animal 1390 at Youngstown. Knowing that the offense is predicated on the three-point shot, how good was it to see this team score 120 points but only shooting 27% from three-point land?
Yeah, that's very encouraging. It really is. There's a lot put on the three-point shot, but you can be just as effective. I'm talking through the course of a game by attacking the basket, by shooting pull-ups, by getting to the free throw line. I like seeing the nights where we don't shoot the ball well from the three, but yet we do come out, number one, with the win, and number two, we still score points. So these guys can see that we are a three-point shooting team that's very capable of having a outstanding night. But the old saying is, you live by the jumper, you can die by the jumper. But yet, if we're still able to produce points, that's encouraging. And tonight was a perfect example.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Larry, LeBron was talking earlier this morning about how positive this week has been for you guys. What about this week have you liked the most?
I think for me personally, sometimes you have to play the hand that's dealt to you, and certainly, it was unfortunate what happened with Coach Lou, and the way our guys have responded. I think, you go through the course of a season and you deal with a lot of different things, and when you do that, you don't know whether you're going to be able to overcome it, And I think for our team, we really rallied, number one, around Coach Lou. When the organization made the decision that he was going to step away for a few games, we rallied around him. We rallied around one another, and coming into the week against a couple of teams that have have really played well this season, in Milwaukee and then in Toronto, coming out with a win the way we came out. I said it after the game. I just think there's a game during the season that really kind of changes your ball club, and I'm certainly hoping that Toronto game was the one that has changed us from a mental standpoint. And now that we have our we're starting to get bodies back, it'll keep us moving in the right direction. But we really rallied around one another after what we the news with Coach Lou. We rallied around one another. And every game that we step into, like I told the guys, I said, we have to come out every single ball game, just knowing that we have a bullseye on our back, and nobody's going to feel sorry for us. We just have to be ready each and every game that we play. I don't care who we play against, a team that's in the playoffs or a team that's not in the playoffs. Everybody wants a piece of us, and they understand that.
What do you think it says about the team as a whole that they can use a moment like that? That's a very tough moment for any team to go through, and they can use that as a galvanizing thing.
Well, it says that we are very capable of persevering, and certainly when you look at our year and everything that has happened, we have persevered, and to me that's a sign of a team that is mentally strong and a team that's mentally capable. And I'm very proud of how they have responded to everything. They could have gone the other way, but they did, and they've responded very well.